Hey everyone, welcome back to this space. If you're new here, welcome. This is Euphoric Garden Tarot. My name is Simone, and we're going to go ahead and jump into your reading. This is for the sign of Scorpio. Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. Also, if you have Scorpio or Pluto in your first house, check that out as well. Not everybody has anything in their first house, or some of their houses have nothing in them. It's totally fine, but any of the other signs that you might be checking for, check that out. But if you're interested in your identity as a person, which changes over time as you get older, you can also check your first house. That's just something that my spirit has led me to read for, as on top of your other placements of Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. If you're looking for relationship messages, check your Venus sign. I'm not really going to talk about relationships that much in my these readings specifically, but if you're trying to navigate your emotions surrounding a relationship and navigate your thoughts, you can check for your Venus sign. Your Sun and your Rising is all about your identity, like how you're perceived by other people, how you project yourself, things like that. Your Moon sign is all about your emotions and your soul and whatnot, creativity. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and jump into it for Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and first house placements. Okay, these videos are not going to be too long. So, I'm trying to keep my videos a little bit shorter than I normally have. But if you want to see longer videos, please let me know in the comment section down below. We're in the year of the horse. It's the fire horse. We're in the year number 1. There's a lot of new things happening, okay? New lessons, new blessings, okay? New transformations, new occurrences. So let's just keep that in mind. Let's see here, Scorpio. And this is for any time during this year, this month, next week, this week, tomorrow, today, what have you. Okay, so it's any given time. This is your spiritual messages for now, or whenever you feel these messages will affect you or help you along the way moving forward at any given time in 2026. Okay, Scorpio, let's see. It says, calm comes when you remember that all you have is this moment. So if you're sitting in a moment and you're thinking about the past, or you're thinking about a problem that is not in front of you right now, think about the moment that you're in now. What is in front of you now? Create a phone-free zone. So maybe you're worried, Scorpio, about a phone call. You're worried about someone calling you and bothering you about a problem. Okay. There are things that are not in front of you right now that for some reason you feel you need to think about right now. You're thinking about, how am I going to solve this problem that's going to come up tomorrow or next week? And it's like, just think about now. What are you doing right now? Are you resting? Are you watching TV? Do you want to watch TV in this moment? Do you want to listen to music? Do you want to call a friend? Do you want to spend time with someone? What is it that you want to do in this moment? In every moment. Like, really just think on those things. Okay? The life is full of so many different moments. And if you're not enjoying or embracing, even if the moment is negative, like if you're dealing with an emergency or you're dealing with any type of frustration in this moment right now, like you are dealing with something, maybe it's problems in relationships, or, a family member is sick, or someone just passed away. I don't know. Whatever is going on right now, that is the only thing that you need to focus on right then and there. Whatever's going on outside of that moment, leave it out there. Because to me, that's just how you really discipline yourself to remain calm, cool, and collected as best you can, no matter how you're feeling. That is the best way, the best route towards mastering yourself and learning a lesson that needs to be learned within a situation is when you are present. You know, we live in a time where we want to just zip through, especially the bad. We want to zip through bad moments instead of just sitting with it for a minute and just how, like, really addressing and assessing how you're feeling in that moment, right? That's so, so important. So let's see. I'm going to pull 2 more oracle messages for you guys, and then we're going to jump into the tarot, okay? For Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and first house placements. Ancestors, wisdom. So Scorpio, there are those of you, maybe there is an ancestor or someone that you take after who has passed on. And maybe they had the same problems that you are experiencing in your life. And maybe they had the same type of mindset of not really embracing the moment. You know, they were just going through life and life was just happening, you know. Maybe there is someone who has passed on that can help you, okay? Maybe you can look back at their life and, you know, maybe you can ask a family member who knew them, if they did know them, if there are those of you who have access to information to different passed on family members, great-grandparents, great-great-grandparents, whatever, it depends. Maybe you need to go back and like really understand who they were as people. How did they deal with their problems? You know, were they workaholics? Did they do too much to where they weren't really embracing the life that they were living? You know, how did they solve their problems? And maybe there's something that you can learn from that. You know, even if you're not really into talking to your ancestors and doing that type of work, you can still try to find information on, you know, do some genealogy research or what have you to understand, like, who are the people that I come from and how did they deal with their problems compared to how I deal with my problems? You know, did they live in the moment? You know, did they embrace the lives that they were living? What kind of lives were they living at that time? And you may find that there's a lot of answers that unlock a lot of secrets, you know, within your family, or even unlock certain secrets inside of you that you didn't know were there. Okay. Bottom of the deck, you have water. Again, very ancestral water. And it says expression. So for those of you, again, if you are looking to connect with your ancestors in a spiritual way, water is a conduit. It is a very powerful conduit. Okay. Water is all about flow. There's a lot of things that you can learn from water. Okay. But overall, you gain wisdom in every moment. But if we're constantly running around almost like toddlers, like with children, right? When we have immature souls, or, you know, we're not as mature as we could be, doesn't matter what age you are, and we're running around like little children, you know, not really embracing the moment. We're just getting into things. We're just like how kids put things in their mouths at a certain age. They're just trying to figure out, what kind of world am I in? And they're not really stopping to really look at what they're doing, right? That's why they don't understand, like, what they're doing is dangerous, you know, or what they're doing can get them into trouble. Like, sometimes we have to realize that our souls have some maturing, or our emotions or our minds still have to go through some lessons to learn how to grow and mature, right? Wisdom comes from stillness and awareness of what it is you're experiencing, what it is that you're seeing. And if you're not really aware or sure what it is that you're seeing in the moment or what you're dealing with, sit with it. Ask questions. Okay? Ask questions to yourself, you know? Don't just run through life, because life is all about growth, right? Life is all about how far you can pass that glass ceiling. Are you willing to break through that glass ceiling, right? There's so much knowledge out there, you guys. So speeding through life, is it worth it? Just to get away from the pain or to distract yourself? You know, do you want to still be that little toddler that's just kind of running around putting things in their mouths and getting themselves into, you know, trapping themselves in the same problem without really understanding how to solve that problem so that it doesn't happen again? Okay, so all of these things that I'm saying, Scorpio, this is just all about learning from your mistakes and looking back and realizing that is why I kept hitting a brick wall. That is why I kept getting hurt. That is why I kept manifesting this type of relationship, right? This is why I kept attracting certain scenarios and certain situations and experiences. And you can change that for the better. You can. Let's pull one more oracle card, Scorpio. Some of you guys may have an ancestor who's actually trying to contact you. Maybe a number of them. You have the South Node, don't let your past hold you back. So once again, some of you guys, your soul has been passed down throughout different generations in the same family. I don't know where I got that from, but that's what just came to me. Others of you, your past life, if you believe in past lives, your soul's past lives is, you know, there's still a lesson that you still have not grasped yet. And it's time to really get down to business to acknowledge that you haven't grasped it yet. And it's time to actually grasp it finally. Others of you, there's a family, there could be something with genetics and illness in your family that has held your family back. Okay, it could be like some type of illness or medical issue, and therefore a mindset that's been passed down through generation up until you were born. And maybe now is the time for you to decide, you know, do I continue that throughout the rest of my lineage and the future generations, or do I stop this? Maybe it's changing your diet. I don't know. It could be you changing your diet, and you deciding I'm not going to eat this anymore, you know, because people in my family have always eaten this and I need to change, you know, maybe educate some of my younger generations in my family not to eat this way. Because you only get one life at a time. So, you know, you want to enjoy your life, right? So there could be some things that have been passed down throughout your family, and now is the time for you to acknowledge that and respect it, and, you know, bless your ancestors, bless the family members who may have died from a certain illness that have been passed down, or have died, you know, from their own circumstances, I don't know, or maybe just of old age. But there could be a mindset or an emotional barrier that has been passed down throughout generation to generation up until you, and now it's time for you to acknowledge it and be like, I want to change that, or I want to improve that, what have you. Bottom of the deck, it says your commitment is being tested. Okay, what you pray for, what you want, do you really want it? Because there will be lessons that are brought to you to show you, okay, you said you didn't want this. Are you sure about that? So if there's a person that's brought into your life again and you say yes to them, you're messing up your own algorithm. You're telling the universe, yeah, I still want that. And the universe is just going to look at you like, well, you said that you didn't. So they're just listening to you, right? Your ancestors, your spirit, your guardians and protectors, they're listening to what you say you want. They're not here to give you what you don't, but they're listening to you. So Scorpio, make sure you are putting energy out there that you actually want to get back. And if there's something that is there to trap you, or a person that's there to trap you into falling back into the same trap, please say no to it. If it's an ex or a friend or a former friend or a toxic family member that keeps crawling back into your life, or circumstances that keep coming back to you to haunt you, and you're just like, I left that behind. You know, if you're into people pleasing kind of a thing, you know, you fall into that trap, learn to say no. Okay? Learn to be like, no, thank you. I want what's what I prayed for, right? All right, let's go ahead and pull some tarot really quickly. We're going to pull 3 tarot cards and then we will end your reading, Scorpio. Okay. Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and first house placements. And moving forward can be scary, Scorpio. It can be when you're thinking about like certain things that have transpired that weren't the best. You know, sometimes it can just hit you and you're just like, oh, that was such a crazy time. Like, I could have done better. We all could have done better. But now the universe, your ancestors or your guardians and protectors, they're just like, let's just move on. Leave this behind. Everybody has their own path that they have to trod, right? 4 of Wands, Queen of Wands, 10 of Cups. You're fine. You're going to be fine. You got the 10 of Cups here. Beautiful energy. Your family life, your friendships, your romantic partnerships is going to flourish if you continue to say yes to what you want and no to what you don't. Even if there's a toxic person that you feel that you want, you don't really want them. You want the idea that they can change and do better for you, which they're probably not. You have the Queen of Wands. She's somebody who knows what she wants. She's been there, done that. There's nothing that can really manipulate her. You know, she sees straight through everything, okay? But she's very loving. She's very giving, right? She's very heartwarming, right? Then we have the 4 of Wands. Peace, contentment, abundance. Happy home. You guys are completing something here, Scorpio. Complete it. Don't prolong the cycle, okay? So if there's a toxic friend or family member or an ex, somebody that you know that they have proven time and time again that they are toxic and they are not good for you and you guys always are fighting, you guys are always getting into trouble, whatever, leave it alone. Be done with it, okay? Be done with it. If you know that there's people in your life from your past who bring your energy down and criticize you and make you feel worse about yourself, maybe just say no to them and distance yourself, okay? Then you have the Lovers, yes, balance. Making the right choices in relationships, healthy choices in relationships, okay? Much love and light to all of you. I wish you guys the very best of luck on this journey. Stay safe, stay healthy, and I hope to see you guys in your next reading. Bye, y'all.